is done. Our backpacks filled with treasures and 2 bodies. And now we feel the pressure. We're just 5 innocent men burning down the house. Let's go before we rouse suspicion. Back to the inn before they know we're missing. Sneak round town the long way, burning down the house. Back to our rooms, grab your bags, time to show our face again. There's a panic in town. Everyone is fetching water. Should we help? I guess we ought to. Fighting fire with fire. To ease suspicion, we buy a round of drinks, money behind the bar. Finally done with the last day's hijinks, a diversion most bizarre. With treasures inspected, to bed we do retire. What lies next for us in Dice and Desire?
We are settled into our beds. You've had your play around with your items. Your fantastic artifacts are in your hands, and you now know what they look like and they feel like. Some more weighty than others. However, it's not the size of the magic item, it's how you use it.
My helmet is like massively unimpressive.
Your helmet
big
is red
red-eyed
and glowing, and you should probably see a doctor.
Been touching it too much. As you settle into your sleep, the thoughts of the day start ticking around into your head. And Dabov, it's not surprising that being presented with a ghost from your past weighs heavy on your mind. And so whilst you sleep, you become restless and you drift off into a dream.
Interesting. And
in this dream, you're back in Waterdeep, and the throng and the noise of the town is all around you. It's imposing. And it very much feels like you're back to where you were before you met Gregomel and before you met Krill. You're still living on the streets. You're very much the urchin of old, and you've got a bit of a hunger in your belly. But fortunately, you've been on the streets for a while. You know the best places to go. You know where you can get yourself some food, either legitimately or, in most cases, illegitimately. So you start hunting around the town, and soon you come to a spot where you're pretty familiar with, and you're viewing up the market square to see who's looking, or more importantly, who's not looking. And all of a sudden you notice Bum. This is not the Bum that you remember from days gone by. Not that you did particularly remember him when you came face to face with him. This is very much Bum towards the end. Bum towards the end. What a phrase. This is a serious moment. He sees you, and you look back at him, and you sort of wave a very cautious hand at him. And he looks you straight dead in the eyes, and he's not smiling. He's not happy. And he turns to start walking away, and you instinctively know that you want to follow him. So you take a step just to follow him, and just as you take that step, you feel a tap on the shoulder. And you turn around, and stood right there is a tiefling, a very young tiefling. And you recognise this to be Grin from Nightstone. You look down, and he's bleeding from a wound. And he says, "She couldn't heal me. She didn't have her tools." You open your mouth to speak. Steam comes billowing out of your mouth. And in that moment, you wake up in a cold, cold sweat.
Why am I a kettle?
There's a whistle in the
back
air.
From spooning.
Krill takes you off the hob.
I wiggle back from spooning and be like, Dabov, why are you so wet?
I look back. That's not me.
Oh, sorry.
Quinch and Greg, can you roll me a wisdom saving throw?
Ooh, that is a 5 overall. Oh, that's a shame. It rolled off of 20.
8.
8. Okay. Greg, whilst you didn't confront any of your past, it seems that you're having some difficulty sleeping this evening. As you drift off into sleep, you somewhat are plagued with difficult thoughts, and you're resting in your tent when you hear a commotion outside. You slowly rise, reaching for your broomstick, your companion at this point. But your hand, it finds nothing. It's not where you expected it to be. Thinking it must be hiding in a place that you've forgotten, or you've placed it somewhere you didn't expect it to be. You speak the command word. You open your mouth to speak it. But what comes out is a gargled noise, an incomprehensible language that no one would understand. The confusion starts to wash over you, and you grab your sorcerer's hat, but at the last moment notice that just as you're about to place it on your head, you bring it back down, you look at it, and it's just a plain hat. It's not what you found, it's not got the stars, it's not blue, it's just a completely plain hat. There's nothing interesting or exciting about this. Where have all your things gone? You panic. Did they ever exist? Is everything a lie? You also wake in a cold sweat, and you actually head downstairs to the bar. It's actually busy downstairs, and you go up to the barmaid and you say, "Can I have a coffee, please?" She looks you dead in the eye and says, "What's coffee?"
Oh my god, this is the nightmare among all nightmares.
You awake, this time in the tavern with Dweezil. Yeah, so both of you've had some difficult dreams, the pair of you. The others, their night passes fairly uneventfully, and you all wake up the next morning. Fully restocked of spells, fully restocked of HP. Quinch, however, is slightly bit of a boy, like a bounce in his step, and he starts the day with a 1 extra temporary hit point.
Wow.
What would you like to do?
What with the hit point? Go and start on someone.
I stab myself instantly to get rid of it. It's just hanging over you. It's just like a little sign.
You mean more generally?
Yeah, but not you. I mean, just you as a group. What would you like to do?
I make intentions to go see the blacksmith.
You didn't even remember what we were going to do with that.
It's all I've thought about.
Let's gather downstairs. Let's gather downstairs in the tavern. Get some breakfast. And discuss our plans.
Yeah,
sounds good.
Okay.
Essentially, I just want to make sure that I spend 10 minutes G'ing them up. To give them all a chunk of temporary hit points from me as well. So just
double bubble.
Yeah, I'll just.
What I will say is, I'll just clarify, the one that MJ Quinch has been given, that is stackable.
Oh, nice.
In this case, he can add that to his bardic inspiration.
So essentially, I will. I'll speak to the lads and I'll just tell them that yesterday we was a tremendously successful day. We achieved what we set out to do with the heist or the charitable event, and we
burnt some corpses.
Burnt the corpses and gave them an appropriate send off because they were not the villains of this piece, and then in doing so managed to perpetuate the ruse and divert any attention away from our party by helping them. We worked as a team. I'm incredibly proud of you all. You were all wonderful. I trust you were all able to sleep with a sense of achievement and resting well, knowing that you had done such a good job yesterday. We need to visit the blacksmith. We need to find Mr. Mosey, because I don't know about you, but I've felt like our party's been one man down these last couple of days, and then we need to make plans to leave this town.
That sounds like an excellent idea.
Yes, I mean, I've got one question. It's vitally important. You all know what coffee is, right?
Yes, it's the brown stuff.
Morning brown.
Okay, good. Just checking I'm not in another nightmare. Carry on.
So you head downstairs to the bar area, and you have this conversation. You have your breakfast, which, for the record, how many of you are there? There's 5. So that will cost you 30 copper pieces in total for a lovely cooked breakfast. It's cooked so well it may as well have come from Lord Bong Rippington's house.
Okay.
You're telling me this place isn't a bed and breakfast, it's purely just bed? Who's ever heard of that? Come on.
It is a bed and breakfast. You just have to pay extra for the breakfast.
Okay.
Oh.
Dweezil's ponied up for that.
God, you are splashing the cash, mate. Everything we've purchased, Dweezil's like, I got it. Dweezil acts like he's like, oh, I'm so out here alone, lone wolf. He's a trust fund baby, is our Dweezil.
Sugar daddy!
Someone's paying for all my stuff. Oh, he's so rich.
Because I've spent
Come
all my
on,
money on a bear.
I want all my money back. I'm sticking my hand in mysterious holes.
Right. So you're at the table. Did you say you want to talk about your plans? Did you, Dweezil?
I mean, yeah, we did, didn't we? Is that not what just happened?
Well, I thought there was more to it than that. I thought it was just that you
go to the blacksmith.
Right. Okay. So you leave the bar area.
We haven't had breakfast.
What? You've just made us pay 30 copper pieces, and you're not gonna describe it to us so we get to enjoy it vicariously.
Right. It's all meat. It's literally 5 times five portions of meat, none of which look particularly appetising.
What about eggs? Is there eggs?
Oh God!
Are they meat?
Right, I'm skipping breakfast.
Good eggs are. Scotch eggs.
My plate has got 7 different types of meat on it. Barkeep, what are these meats?
And where were they sourced from?
She wanders over to your table and says 7. Well, firstly, I only count 5. I know those 2 look different, but they're actually both the same as that third one.
Yes.
You've got there. Well, that's clearly gammon, pig.
Yes. Sorry, that's obvious, yeah.
Yeah. Then you've got the sausage. That's also pig.
Why is it green?
Herbs.
There's
all
lots
you need
of
to know.
them. It's like 95% herbs.
Third one. That's actually ham, so that's pig.
Nice.
That there is chicken. And the 5th one, we actually found a goat hanging around outside the bar, and that's a goat.
Excuse me. A goat.
Yes.
Did he have a
Yes.
name?
I mean, it was a unattended goat. We don't ask names, and I'm very sure that we wouldn't have got told a name if we did ask.
So you found a goat.
Quinch is currently eating the meat that was pointed out to him as
You
goat.
found a goat. Where was the goat?
Just around. It was just like outside the bar.
Not
Didn't think to look for an owner?
tied up in a blacksmith's.
I mean, it was. I don't understand if you know what's happened here. The barman says, I don't think you understand what's happened here. We've had giants attack. We've had one of our most prized houses set on fire overnight. I mean, this town is a little bit in disarray. For us to start worrying about whose meat is whose, it's
Right. Look in your dungeon master's guide and tell me the value of a goat, because that is the compensation I demand.
Okay, then, if you could prove that you own the
Yeah.
goat, I'd be
When he's
more
here,
willing to,
I'll have a conversation
compensate
with him
you.
because I can fucking talk to him and he'll tell you he's mine. Oh wait, he can't because he's dead because you killed him and made sausages.
Well, assuming we're talking about the same goat, he is here, and he points down at the table.
I can't talk with sausages.
I sure am glad we're keeping a low profile whilst in the town.
Sausage doesn't have any concept of speech, so you just hear sizzle, sizzle, sizzle.
I run
sizzle.
out the door towards the blacksmith, hoping that there has been a case of mistaken identity and Sebastian is in fact still alive.
He was wanting rid of Sebastian. He was just a burden.
He was a burden until the choice was taken out of my hands. That's what I'm going to check. I am moving at 30 feet per second, every 6 seconds.
Okay, where the rest is
Full sprint.
Quinch has finished his breakfast meat, so he's happy to leave now anyway.
On the way out, I'm just going to look at the bartender and just say, well, as we're not worrying about, property laws, I'm just going to take this and point at all the cutlery. I assume they have a cutlery cart in the corner of the room, like most good restaurants. And all the sauces.
I think you'll find that's slightly different. I mean, I can call the guards if you want to really make this an issue. I mean, that is, you understand that you're in a property, in a restaurant setting, and you're suggesting that we don't own this cutlery.
Well, you're suggesting we didn't own that goat, which we did.
Krill runs back, having heard this quip, and says, touche, and then carries on running back towards the blacksmith.
Sorry, I mean, if it helps, we won't cook your next goat.
Then I won't take your next cutlery. Good day, sir. And I walk out.
Fuck it, you can have some cutlery. I can't be asked to roleplay you fighting over some cutlery.
I would like to know what cutlery I take.
Here we go. Right, we're going to roll 3 d6s. Each will signify a different cutlery. 3, 3, and 5. You can decide which one's which. You can have 3 knives, 3 spoons, whatever. I don't care.
Can I have a potato masher?
Why would that be on the cutlery thing?
It's probably a gourmet place. You have to mash your own potatoes.
What gourmet places are you going to?
Right, I want to eat it now. Right, Krill, where are you? So Krill, the 4 of you have stayed in the tavern, I assume, and Krill has run on his own to the blacksmith.
Oh, no, I left long
We're
ago.
running side by side.
I wanted no part of that dumpster fire.
I'm just rattling down the street, just clanging away, full of cutlery.
Just them falling out of your pocket. You're like Hansel and Gretel, leaving a trail of cutlery.
You joke, I'm putting them in my inventory.
You say that like you've got a plan for them.
I can find a plan. It's fine. It's metal. I can use it.
So Krill, you reach the blacksmith's, and the first thing that you see is Sebastian tied up outside, safe and sound.
I didn't need that stress. That was so unnecessary.
Dabov just holds up his cutlery and goes, worked out for the best though, didn't it?
Rogue's gonna rogue.
I put them between my fingers like a sort of a really shitty Wolverine. It gave me the leverage I needed.
You can have you got an inspiration point out of interest, Dabov?
Yeah, I have. I need to use it.
Yeah, use it now. Use it now so you can get another one. So Krill, you get to the blacksmith and you...
On the way to the blacksmith, Quinch is fiddling with his cube of many colours.
Okay, all right. Can you roll me a sleight of hand then, please?
Sleight of hand. Ooh, strong. 4.
4. It moves into a new pattern. Lovely stuff. As you reach the blacksmith's and you see Sebastian tied up outside, all of a sudden, Alyssa comes storming out. She says, right. And then she points at Quinch and says, you! Why have you given me this?
What is it?
Well, you know exactly what it is. I mean, there's no one else around here that's blue, so I assume it's you.
Anyone could have signed that letter.
Oh, so you admit it's a letter, do you?
I can just see what's in your hand.
I didn't point at it, I just said this. So...
Yeah, but it's somewhat... It's not windy, but I saw it flap and fold over and I saw it was signed. It's not from me, I don't think.
Well, the long and the short of it is, no, I don't know.
Oh.
Quinch, what
Yes.
have you written in this letter to the blacksmith?
I mean, she could read it out, I suppose.
I'd rather you told us yourself, Quinch. I think it's
As Alyssa hands over the letter and says, "Just read it for yourself."
Whilst he prepares that, can I? Is Mr. Mosey okay?
Mr. Mosey, of course he's okay. I mean, apart from this blithering idiot leaving these letters all around the place, I've been working very hard on your thing because I don't know if you have understood this, young orc. I don't like you. I want rid of you. You're annoying me, and I thought the best way to do it is just to get it done. And she starts walking back into...
Before you go, is that a no to goat armour?
She just looks at you, sighs, looks over to Dweezil and says, "While you're reading, you this way as well." And she storms into the blacksmith, and I assume that you follow her.
Who? Dweezil?
Dweezil, yes.
Yeah, I'll follow.
So she's ushering in Krill to deal with the bear, and she's pointed at you, Dweezil, and said, "You also come here."
Oh yeah, I'll follow.
As you enter the blacksmith, it's warm. It's still very much warm, as if someone's been working on it pretty much overnight. Someone's been doing overtime. That is a very thankless task that no one cares about how long she's been doing work for, and just clearly wants her to do her job and everything. And she looks at Dweezil. She says, "Right, you're first. This is an easy one for you." And she just points to the wall and says, "I think that's yours, right?" And on the wall you see your javelin of lightning.
Oh.
Said, "Listen. Given all the problems this one's caused me, I was half tempted to keep it, but I saw you on the battlefield with it, and I thought he's going to want that back. And it's a weapon of pure craft, and I just wouldn't feel right about taking it from its rightful owner. So you can have that back."
I'll take it back and I kiss my javelin.
Good. I'm glad you do. Right, and as for you, she goes walking over to the counter, says, and she looks behind, rummages around a little bit, and then comes back and says, "Here you go. Here's your pissing bear." Does this look all right? And as you see, Mr. Mosey in a very snug-fitted outfit. Essentially some armour across its shoulders, some breeches around its legs, strap across its chest. I mean, it's armoured in the very lightest sense. And she said, "Look, if you'd given me long enough, if you'd actually let me do my job, I probably could have fit him for full armour. But you wanted an armoured bear. There you go, armoured bear.
This is perfect. I could kiss you." I put my hands on her head and just give her a little peck on the forehead and say, "Thank you. I will certainly be back."
Could you roll me... What would sexual harassment be? As you put your hands upon her head, she just goes, "What are you doing?" And she just pulls her head back and says, "No, just listen. Why are you continuing to make this creepy and weird? Can you just take your bear, take your friends, and leave this town?
I go
I've had
outside.
enough of you."
I pick up Sebastian under my arm.
Can I have a strength check, please?
Natural 20. Sebastian.
You pick up
yeet him into
Sebastian
space.
Cleaner than... Yeah, exactly. You pick him up cleaner than anyone has picked up a
I then
goat
I have
in their
Mr.
life.
Mosey under the other arm, and I just say, "It's so good to have my boys back."
Oh, timestamp. I need an artistic image of Krill holding a goat and a teddy bear.
We can make that work.
Would anyone else like anything? I mean, you've bought weapons from this place already. There's probably nothing you need, but
Does she have any cutlery?
No, but if you'd like to sell her some silver, I'm sure that she would buy it.
Can we spend 3 days while she melts this down for me and make some weasel armour?
makes different cutlery. No, she doesn't deal in cutlery. She is a blacksmith, but no, that's outside of her. She's more into the fighty stuff than the forky stuff.
She has seen my potato masher, right?
She's mildly impressed by the potato masher.
It's just several forks glued together.
Just a cross of them. Sorry, he's gone. Are you four still here?
We'll follow him, I guess.
Yeah. I guess we're just leaving.
I don't know where he's going, but
He's just outside, just like he's just been on the biggest shopping run of his life. Okay, so you all leave the blacksmiths, hopefully for the final time. What would you like to do next?
Just as we're leaving, can I just hang back and get Quinch's attention?
What's up?
What? And I just wave the letter at him like, why?
She seemed like a conduit of township and information, and I thought that she might be able to help us with our giant problem.
Why not just speak to her?
She was quite intimidating, didn't you think?
But I tell you what, the tale of the cowardly barbarian is absolutely working for me.
Can we get a read out of this now?
So I slipped out.
Is that Krill asking, or is that Krill asking, or is that Sam asking?
I sort of overhear this conversation, and Krill goes, "What has he said?"
Dweezil holds up the paper, looks at Quinch, gives him a little side eye, and goes, "Dearest Alyssa, will you go out with me?" And then he's drawn 2 boxes underneath. One says yes, and the other one says no. And then it says from Blue.
That's not the real letter. Read the real one.
Quinch wrote a letter to Alyssa to ask her if she knew of anything or had anything that could help us to defeat giants. It really is do you know what? Very few spelling mistakes. One or two. Brethren has 2 E's in it, not 3. Quinch, but very, very good. And his writing is much more pretty than you'd expect from a large blue man. But yeah, there's nothing sinister in this letter. He was trying to help in a very
nothing
odd,
sinister.
In a
he
very
left it in the
way.
blacksmith in the middle of the night. That's incredibly sinister.
I majored calligraphy at the monk school.
Someone would say it's a lost art now.
A little peek behind the curtain for the listeners on there. My favourite part of the letter is that he doesn't even sign it off as Quinch.
No,
he signs it off as Blue. Which,
Brilliant.
feel free to now call him.
Who would she have replied to?
I didn't want there to be record that we were in the town. We were supposed. I mean, had I known that we were going to start a fight with the innkeeper, set light to the biggest building in town, and absolutely dominating the festival, maybe I would have...
Are we in earshot?
That letter after the festival.
I remember that now. It's compounding.
Are we still in earshot of the blacksmith while he's just revealed everything we've done?
We barely made it out the door.
She doesn't care. She honestly, the second you left her doorstep, she was just back to working for the town. Cool. Group.
Do we have any more business in this town?
I don't think so. We need to.
Where did we leave the horses?
I think the horses are on the edge of the town, aren't they? Yes.
How often do horses need to eat?
We left them with grass and water, I remember.
It's alright, they're probably sausages now anyway.
Or the glue to rebuild.
Not Trez.
They're rebuilding the house with glue. Lots and lots of glue.
Okay. So, does anyone want to do anything in Amphail?
No.
I think it's time for us to leave Amphail. This town has given up everything it can.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Dice and Desire. We really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave us a review. Also, go check out our Instagram and Twitter pages. The handle for both is Dice and Desire. So, until next time, stay safe, adventurers.
This is the Explorers Collection, brought to you by Homebrew Dice. From ancient tales to treacherous lands, each of these 10 dice sets and matching boxes will take you and your party into new worlds of adventure. We need your support to bring this incredible collection to life, which is why it's coming up on Kickstarter on July 29th. With stretch goals available, such as art prints, PDF one-shot campaigns written for each set, and more, you can immerse yourself in worlds created for an escape from reality. What are you waiting for? Go to homebrewdice.co.uk/Kickstarter to be notified on launch, and let's go on an adventure together.